Hi friends, in this video let's talk about constipation solutions, my top 10 natural remedies. And in the end, I'm going to give you my favorite food that works even in people who are taking constipating medications. By the way, so many things besides medications can cause constipation, including your hydration status, the lack of movement, the foods you eat or don't eat, the coordination of your nerves and muscles, and of course, stress. Certain medical conditions can also cause constipation, so it's important to address those medical conditions with your physician. Do you recognize the symptoms of constipation? Constipation describes your stools as well as your ability to completely evacuate your stools. If you have hard bowel movements, go less than 3 times a week, have stools that are too hard or too small, or you feel like you just aren't completely empty, these are all signs of constipation. Have you heard that movement is good for you? It's especially good for your gut because movement increases gastric motility and gastric emptying because it is just a physiological response. The more you move, the more you jiggle your gut, the more you stimulate bowel movements. And this is why people who are bedbound have difficult bowel movements and why athletes have less constipation problems. So number 10, how about getting up right now and move? You can just literally stand in place and walk in place or move side to side or rotate your hips. You can do all these 3 things as you watch YouTube. It works best if you can move for 140 minutes a week. Speaking of movement, have you ever played on those water slides in the summer? If you tried to slide without water, you wouldn't get very far and you'll get a road rash. Water reduces friction, and that's what you want to do with your colon. Reduce friction on your stool with water. So number 9, drink plenty of water throughout the day, at least 8 glasses. Drink a glass before you eat, and if your food is primarily dehydrated, like crackers, cookies, breads, and pastries or meats, drink it throughout eating. Ideally, everyone should poop every day for at least once a day, if not 3 times a day. And this was recommended by the father of modern medicine, Hippocrates. So what's the big deal if you don't poop? Plenty. Severe constipation is associated with a higher risk of cardiovascular events in postmenopausal women. Hard stools hurt, and lots of people, especially kids, hold their poop because it's painful, which makes the problem worse. I have seen people with horrendous abdominal pain from constipation because hard poop can cause ulcers and erode through the thin wall of your colon. This can cause a leakage of pathogens in your abdominal cavity. In most people, this doesn't happen, but when it does happen, it's a medical emergency. Remember not to hold your poop. If you have to go, you should go. The goal is not to let your stools get hard, and that's where fiber comes in. Only plants have fiber. Fiber traps water and makes stools softer so that it doesn't turn into a rock. Have you ever gone hiking and accidentally stepped on poop? When I go hiking, I want to know if the poop next to me is from a mountain lion or a bear. Do you know how to tell that? Well, mountain lions, they only eat meat. So their poop is denser and looks like a hot dog with rings because that is the shape of a colon. Bears eat plants, and so their poop is a mixture of fibers and is looser, and sometimes I even see whole pieces of fruit. So if you eat more like a bear, you'll poop like a bear, and your stool will be softer and looser. So number 8, eat like bears and eat blueberries. Blueberries are packed with fiber and taste delicious. And that blue color, that's anthocyanins that give it that deep, rich color, the polyphenols that actually protect your DNA and reduce inflammation. Now, there are certain foods that are particularly beneficial to relieve constipation. And one of my favorites is sweet and chewy, and that is a dried prune. So number 7, try to eat some dried prunes, about 8 of them in a day. They have been shown to work better than selenium husks sold as Metamucil. Now, I don't often recommend juice, but if you are so constipated that whole prunes can't get down the pipe, then you would benefit from washing the pipe with liquid fiber found in prune juice. Pooping is important because that's how you expel toxins from your foods like heavy metals, pesticides, and byproducts of your metabolism like excess estrogen and cholesterol. Have you ever used ammonia to clean your windows and accidentally inhaled some of it? Pretty nasty, huh? Well, your body actually makes ammonia when it breaks down the proteins you eat, and everyone is always looking for protein. If you can't poop it out, that ammonia gets recycled in your system and becomes a toxin to your brain. Ever feel sluggish, moody, or irritable when you can't poop? People with liver failure get confused and obtunded from the buildup of ammonia. And the solution is to make them poop 2 to 3 times a day. Normally, kidneys should also secrete ammonia, but when people have compromised kidneys, they'll also struggle to clear ammonia. So don't make your liver and kidneys work harder. Poop daily. Now, if you're not a fan of prunes, then try number 6. 6 dried or fresh figs can keep you regular daily. Have you ever fixed a broken toy that you need is stuck in a small tube? And it's such a simple fix that if you had that perfect tool that is hard and small enough that it could shove that part through the tube, or if the tube was bendable, like a yogurt tube, you could squeeze the stuff inside out. Well, your intestines are that squeezable tube, and the muscles that surround your intestines act like your fingers trying to push the thing stuck, your stool. The problem is these muscles need healthy nerves to work, and that's why the system is called the neuromuscular system. And when you take medications that interfere with this system, it'll make you constipated. So if you are on any of these medications, check with your doctor to see if he or she can help you devise a plan to graduate off of them. You can't just quit cold turkey, or you can get really sick and feel really bad. It's like learning how to swim. You should take swimming lessons with an instructor before you go into the ocean. Conditions like high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes can both significantly improve within a week if you eat the right high fiber foods. And this is why you need to work with your provider or dietitian so that you can safely reduce your drugs. Those are 2 great reasons to eat more fiber. There are many types of fiber which are separated into insoluble and soluble fibers. Insoluble fiber is like paper, and you'll find it labeled as cellulose in processed foods like bread. Why would anyone want to eat paper? Have you ever accidentally eaten paper? It's not nutritious. You can't digest it. And there are healthier ways to get insoluble fiber besides eating paper. Now, if you stick to whole plants, every bite you eat will have insoluble fiber, and it'll be nutritious and taste good. Have you ever dropped a corn kernel or kidney bean in water? What happens? Nothing. Unless you leave it for a while, then the water will turn color. That casing around the corn and kidney bean is insoluble fiber, protecting it from harm. And the water, when it turns color, has soluble fiber. And when you eat the whole bean or whole grain, the fiber protects you from easily assessing the sugar inside, unless you break it up and process it into a chip. And this is why processed food is fattening. That corn is also a brilliant yellow, and the kidney bean is a brilliant red. The yellow color is a pigment called beta-carotene. Your body turns beta-carotene into vitamin A, which is an important part for your immunity, your cellular growth, and to maintain healthy eyes and healthy lungs. This paper is white. There is no pigment in it. And this is why when you eat processed white food, you're eating empty calories. The beneficial phytonutrients have been emptied out. That red kidney bean has anthocyanins that protect your DNA from toxins in the environment. Cellulose doesn't have that. We all need to eat more colorful pigmented plants to arm our immune system. And this is the benefit of eating whole food unprocessed. So number 5, eat a cup of colorful whole plant foods, your choice, with every meal. Now, would you rather enjoy foods that reduce your blood sugar, cholesterol, and weight? Or would you rather take 3 separate medications that target each of those metrics separately, but eventually they will all fail and you will need more medications as you age? I am in the first camp and would rather pay for foods that can improve my health than pay for medicines that will just give me more side effects. No disease that can be treated by diet should be treated with any other means. That is a direct quote by Moses Maimonides from the 12th century. Unfortunately, modern society has strayed way too far. And if you want to take charge of your constipation relief with food, your health will improve. That takes me to number 4. Learn to eat magic beans. Beans are magical because they literally reduce your blood sugar, your cholesterol, and can help you lose weight. Beans contain a ton of soluble fiber that gels up to slow absorption of blood sugars, which helps with preventing and treating diabetes. In fact, beans have a second meal effect where it continues to help reduce blood sugars the day after eating them. Beans bind to bile acids to reduce cholesterol because it goes down the toilet. That's why your stools are brown. You are pooping cholesterol. This all translates into weight control and weight loss. The best part of beans is that they are cheap. 1 pound of dry beans can be 99 cents, and that bag can feed a family of 5 for several meals and for several days. but don't rush it. You won't feel good if you eat a bowl of beans if you're not used to eating it. And this is because your gut needs to be trained to tolerate beans. It's like going to the gym when you've never gone to the gym and you're spending hours working out. You won't feel well the day after. Per serving, beans have the highest amount of fiber, so you will feel bloated because fiber pulls in water. It's like a sponge. And if you're already constipated, it may make you feel worse. The trick to eating beans is to start with one single bean a day. Then you add a single bean per meal, and then you slowly add a bean at a time until you can tolerate a cup of beans per meal. Now, this can take several weeks, but you're going to get there. Always soak your beans for at least 4 hours before you thoroughly cook them until they are soft. Now, the best part of eating is to be able to share good foods with your best friends. And you may not know it, but you have trillions of best friends that can help you improve your metabolism, your mood, and your immunity. They live in your colon. They are called your gut microbes. They are critical to helping you digest food. The good gut microbes keep you healthy, but there are also bad gut microbes that can make you really sick. And this is where those magic beans come in. Beans contain both soluble and insoluble fibers and polyphenols that the good gut microbes eat. Dry beans take a while to prepare, so when I'm in a hurry, I cook lentils. It takes 15 minutes. When they are done, I can add them to sauces with pastas, toss them into salads or stir fries, or just eat them with curries. So number 3, train yourself to eat some lentils. It's the same concept as beans. You have to go slow and gradual. Your gut microbiome will love them and pay you back in dividends by producing short-chain fatty acids like butyrate that will give your colon the energy to push those soft stools down the toilet. Now, whole foods with fiber is very different than drinking fiber supplements or eating fiber cookies. Dried fiber supplements and processed fibrous foods can actually make constipation worse because you have to chase it down with enough water. I actually prescribe fiber supplements to help people with diarrhea. This is also why what foods are much better for your health. Have you noticed that when you cook oatmeal, the liquid gets milky colored, and if you stick your finger in it, it feels creamy and kind of slimy? Imagine if that was your poop. Wouldn't it be hard to get constipated? Now imagine holding bread and shoving that bread through a long pipe. It'll likely get stuck, and you'll have to pour a lot of water down for a long time to get that bread soft so that it slides down. That's why number 2 is to eat oatmeal daily. Now, when you total up all your food, women should be striving to get at least 30 grams of fiber daily, and men close to 40 grams daily. Sadly, the average American diet can't even hit 15 grams. And this is why constipation and metabolic diseases are so rampant. Here's a list of fibrous foods. Many people think eating a salad with iceberg lettuce is high fiber. And from this list, you can see salads are not a great source of fiber unless you eat a lot of dark leafy greens. If you are changing your diet and still need a powerful constipation relief, try my number 1 go-to favorite food, chia seeds. Put a tablespoon and 8 ounces of warm water or your favorite drink and let it soak for 20 minutes. It's going to expand to a glistening, slimy, pearl-like seed, kind of like tapioca. And that's when you can drink it. Wait an hour, walk around, drink some more water, and if that doesn't work, do it again. You will eventually go. I used to put chia seeds in my favorite plant-based milk, and then I would refrigerate it for a few hours to let it solidify. It turns into a delicious pudding. After you've tried to incorporate all these good foods daily, if you have blood on the toilet or blood on the toilet paper after you have a bowel movement, you feel weak, or you still can't go, you really need to go see a doctor because something more serious can happen, something such as colon cancer. So if you want to learn more about colon cancer, please check out the next video.